Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Michael Brady. I prefer to go by Mike, but you can pick either, whichever you prefer, professor, doctor, Michael, whatever. I don't care. I like to make a short video every week, especially the first week, so we can get to know each other a little bit. In an online class, it's hard to do. This week, I'll go over the basic structure of the class, how it will work, how the assignments will work, a little bit about the syllabus. Then I will talk a little bit about myself and end with some contact information. All right. So we have 13 weeks for this shortened semester. The first week will be a basic intro week. What is philosophy? What are we doing in here? What have we been doing in philosophy the last, 2,000-3,000 years around the world? That type of thing. And this will give you a general understanding of where we're going. I've decided to break the class down into 4 sections, 4 main topic areas. The first one is metaphysics, and metaphysics is, what is the stuff of the world? How does the world work underneath, our daily lives? And as you can see, each section, metaphysics, epistemology, which is knowledge, how we know the world, ethics and politics will have 3 weeks. So each section will have 3 weeks. The first week will be a relatively informal and easy week where will pose a street philosophy question to you, and there'll be a discussion post. But it's pretty short, not too much time is needed. The second week will be a little bit more in depth with some of the main topics and the main historical parts of philosophy, main thinkers, and their critics, depending on what we're looking at. And then the final week will be a little bit more on you. It'll be a little bit more independent, where I'll be asking you to pick one of the people we looked at, do a reading, and then a written response. And each of the 4 sections will work in the same way. The first week won't require a ton of time, but it's still important as a setup for the rest of the weeks. The second week will be more informative and generalized, and the third week will be you reading and responding, and that's a little bit harder and will take a little bit extra time. And all the sections work in that same way. 1, 2, 3, and then you'll get a little bit of a break in the next one. Okay, and that continues for the whole semester. All the details are right there. You can look at this infographic, which I'll post on the website as well. And that's how the class will work. At the bottom, I have a couple of tips. One I just mentioned there, and the other one is, just as important. I'm generally pretty easygoing. Old people like me, I would say I'm kind of chill. I'm happy to give you flexibility if you need it for really almost any reason. But you got to contact me. We got to discuss it, or we got to be on the same page. If this is due and you can't do it, can you do it tomorrow? Let me know, and we can almost always work it out. All right. So keep that in mind as we're going forward. On the syllabus, the main things I want you to focus on here is you can go and read this. This is obviously going to be posted online as well. But I wanted to focus on 2 main things towards the end there. The first is the most important. We really try to focus here at Parkland on making this an inclusive environment for everyone as much as you can. And in an online class, this can be especially difficult because we don't really get to know each other very well. And so keeping that in mind, if you have a disability issue or you have some type of accommodation that you need, just contact the Parkland office. They're really, really good. Almost every professor I know of is happy to work with them and with you. We want this to work. I want the class to work for you. But if we don't know, we can't help you. Okay? And so just keep that in mind. And the second part is a little bit, stricter and meaner. Don't cheat. All right, simple enough. I don't like to turn into the bad guy, but I can if I have to. And, I teach philosophy, I teach ethics, I teach intro to philosophy, and, I just can't allow it. All right, so enough said. If you're having problems or difficulties or time pressures, that's why I'm flexible. Don't take a shortcut, okay, and get caught and get hurt for it, okay? As for the rest of the syllabus there's a section there about the reader. Make sure you get the one by me, Michael Brady. It'll be edited by me. It'll be right on the thing with a picture of some art. You can see some more art on my wall. It's an art piece. It's an art piece by my wife. So make sure you get the right one. You will need that by the third week of the class. You don't need it right away. Okay. And if you have some difficulties getting it or whatever, just let me know and we can work something out for the first, assignment. And then I have all the assignments listed there. There's an assignment every single week. There's no exceptions. I'm not the hardest grader for individual assignments, but I am kind of strict on doing all the work. If you do all the work, you generally get an A or B. That's how my class works. But it's a fair amount of work, okay? And it follows that structure of easy, middle, hard, easy, middle, hard, just like you're working out or something, okay? So that's that. And if you have any questions about anything else on the syllabus, especially if you want to set up online office hours, which are kind of weird and hard to do in this on an online class, please just contact me. Happy to do it. Happy to chat. Okay, I'll end with a little bit about myself. Some students love to know this stuff. Some don't care. If you don't care, see you next week. It's fine with me. I don't mind. I grew up in Massachusetts. I grew up on Cape Cod, which is a little piece of Massachusetts that sticks out into the ocean. It's largely a tourist community. It's really quite lovely if you ever get a chance and you like beaches. It's really, really great. Don't go in the winter. It's very chilly and windy. The summer, it's really great. And I went to school at UMass Boston. I did philosophy and French, which I still try to keep up, although my French is not great, but I can do a little. And then I went to Boston College for my MA, my master's degree in philosophy. And I lived in Boston for, I don't know, 4 years, something like that. And then, believe it or not, I went to Southern Illinois because it was one of the main schools to study the philosopher John Dewey, who was my favorite philosopher and one of the main people I wrote my dissertation on. And so that's how I ended up in Illinois, of all places. And then, obviously, migrated a little further north in Southern Illinois. I specialized in pragmatism and basically history and philosophy of science and how it interacted with philosophy. So if you want to chat about any of those things, happy to do it. But I kind of took a weird route. I didn't go straight from high school to college. I went in the military. I was a cop in the military. I was a truck driver. I did HVAC, computer tech, some other things. And I had a bit of a roundabout way to come back to philosophy. And the reason I did it is I had a lifelong friend who was a local philosophy teacher. And through him, I just loved philosophy and thought it would be the greatest job in the world. And it turns out it actually is. I really do love this job. I really do think you can change the world. Many, many times I've had students' lives changed through this class and, the readings and the philosophy that they love. And that's why I do it. I really do love this stuff. Okay. A couple other little things there. You see, I have a couple of daughters who are 30 and 27, almost 31 in a few months. And I'm a total introvert. Might seem a little hard to believe, philosophy professor, introvert, but it's totally true. All right. And I have a bunch of hobbies. My main ones for on a daily basis are working out. I'm a bit of an exercise fanatic. I do all kinds of stuff. If you want to chat about it, happy to chat about it. That's my outdoor gym there. That's Luigi, my buddy. And he likes to go out there when it's warm. He goes out there and works out with me. And my second group of hobbies is outdoor related. I've been hiking, canoeing, sea kayaking my whole life, literally since I was 10 or 12. And it's one of my favorite things. I almost always go alone, which some people think is weird, but I'm happy to chat about it if you're interested. And if you want to chat outdoor stuff or fitness, I could talk your ear off. So if you want to chat about those, feel free. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm all over social media, but I'm not super posty. I don't post a ton, but I post a little bit in Instagram. But I have TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. I'm all over there. If you want to follow me, happy to follow you back after the semester's over. And then finally, this is super important, especially in an online class. It's hard for us to get to know each other. It's hard to communicate. The second or third week, I'll set up an online Zoom office hours that you can sign up for. But even still, most people won't do it. And I just want to let you know that it's not bothering me. It's not putting me out. If you have a little question about, a reading assignment or a little question about, is this what we were meant to do? Is that what we're meant to do? Use the Google text there. I set up a Google text number just for the classes. It's not my regular phone number. and I'm happy to use it. If you text me, I'll usually get back to you right away, as long as it's not the morning. I'm not a morning person. If you have something longer or harder to talk about, just email me. Use the Parkland email, although I might not get back to you that minute. And I'm happy to do it. It's not only is it my job, but I actually like my job. Okay, so please, happy to do it. You're not putting me out. Any little questions or any big questions, feel free to ask. All right. And with that said, I will usually make a video like this every week, although they'll usually be a little bit shorter. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff, how the structure works, how the grading works, how the specific grading works for specific assignments, please feel free to contact me using the Google text number or the email. All right. And I'll see you next week.